The Rams open OTAs without serious drama. Kudos. Mookie Betts is actually playing damn good shortstop, and the Galaxy supporters once again chant, "We want better," but Greg Vanny is too damn stubborn to do that. Good morning. I'm James, and this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is May 29, 2025. Welcome back to the Sanctum Sanctorum of LA Sports. We added a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia last night. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. We're going to do our best to keep you informed. And if you like being in the know about LA Sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. Now, just a quick note. The reason for the late start today, car problems. These sort of things happen. But let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. Cleveland 7, Dodgers 4. And yet, the magic number for the Dodgers still reduces to 106. Also, San Jose 1, Galaxy nothing. There is a rapid recap of that match. It's on the Galaxy playlist. Meanwhile, today, there are no games involving LA teams. What do you say we all go out and touch some grass? Or if we're lucky, maybe something that rhymes with grass. And what do you say we get to the news? The Rams opened their organized team activities Wednesday, and much like with the Chargers the day before, the drama was minimal, and that is a blessing. But this leaves the scribes begging, just begging, to forecast anything, to just create news into existence, right? So, for example, I saw that guy. He's going to be the biggest steal of the offseason. Sports Illustrated, once a household name for thoughtful sports reportage, then went out and breathlessly proclaimed that Rams 6th-round pick Konata Mumpfield as, quote, a legitimate NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate, unquote, after one OTA practice. One practice. Yes, Mumpfield Mania, sweeping Southern California. Today, Southern California. Tomorrow, the world. Mumpfield Mania. Puka Nacua, stop making plays. Your career is over. Devontae Adams, why did you even show up? There is no point in resisting. Like a humble tribe in a third, fourth world, just a failed state. A humble tribe with no access to electricity or a Bible, these indigenous clans shall hear of the name Konata Mumpfield, and even though they have never seen a football game, shall worship him as a deity from the passes he caught from backup quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Meanwhile, in the real world, nobody mentioned Konata Mumpfield on social media since day 3 of the NFL draft. Just saying, SI. Just saying. Feel free to continue publishing magazines of not nearly as awesome looking women in bathing suits when the rest of society has graduated to Pornhub. Sports journalism and swimsuit editions. Two things that Sports Illustrated now sucks at. But now, for those of us who take football seriously, know this. Sean McVay is super happy that Ahkello Witherspoon is in camp because the Rams privately know defensive backfield for them, it's a little sus. Particularly since we have no idea if they're going to reacquire Jalen Ramsey. McVay is saying he doesn't think the team needs to add more players to the secondary. Nobody followed up by asking him if he was high. The Athletic, by the way, also was there. They wanted to give running back Kyron Williams a big ol' hug for showing up to OTAs. Williams, for his part, said he thought that the idea of sitting out never even crossed his mind, which is correct, because the Rams might want to extend his contract, but they also have two guys who could theoretically replace him like that. Drop of a hat. Blake Corum, Jarquez Hunter. The Rams and Williams' reps are continuing to talk, but his reps aren't stupid. They know Williams has little to no leverage in this. So whatever they get at an extension, they're going to be overjoyed with. Finally, Rob Havenstein is the only guy at OTAs who is not doing anything. He had procedures on both of his shoulders, so he's on the sideline. Last I checked, lifting your arms kind of helps when you're an offensive lineman. So OTAs have begun for both the Rams and Chargers. We talked about the Chargers yesterday. Tell me what you think about both teams in the comments thread. Meanwhile, with the Dodgers, it wasn't that long ago, but to the simple-minded, mouth-breathing internet scribes, 2 months is an eternity. It wasn't that long ago that the mere mention of playing Mookie Betts at shortstop was more ridiculous than, having a dementia patient at the Resolute desk. Who am I? Who am I to say? But now, CBSSports.com is calling Betts one of the game's elite defensive shortstops. And despite the mental challenge that the position necessitates, he still kept most of his offensive numbers on point. Now, his batting average isn't what it used to be. He was always pretty solid up in the 320s, 330s. It's dropped into the 200s. But 8 home runs ain't bad, folks. For example, Betts is the same age as Trevor Story in Boston. Now, Story was once a double threat at short, defense and offense. The defense is still there, but the offensive production went poof. Carlos Correa, that's another example. Carlos Correa is younger than both Betts and Story. He's only 30. But Correa's offense, poof. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is Trevor Story and Carlos Correa are Thelma and Louise driving the convertible off the cliff. Now, how much of an athletic unicorn does that make Mookie Betts? He's described by his teammates and people around him as a pro-level bowler, that he will commit murder, death kill if you challenge him to ping pong, and he can dunk on you despite being just 5'10". So, when he volunteered to go to short last year and he stunk up the joint in limited time, he took that a little personally. Now, if you look at the numbers, the so-called analytics, he's tied for 5th among shortstops in defensive runs saved. He ranks in the 91st percentile in range, the 82nd percentile in fielding run value. Now, this is according to some website called Baseball Savant. And if you really want me to try to break it down for you, I'm sorry. There's no way in the blue hell I'm going to be able to do that. But for those of us who don't deal in spreadsheets, there's a manager, Dave Roberts, who feels justified in putting his faith in Betts. Roberts told the LA Daily News he expects Betts to keep the position all year long. Said Roberts, quote, "Right now he's playing above average shortstop, which is amazing considering he just took this position up. He's a major league shortstop on a championship club," unquote. So I mentioned this yesterday, and if you noticed in the rapid recap, it was from Dignity Health Sports Park. It was the second Galaxy match I'd seen this year. The other one was up in Portland. For the second time this year, the Galaxy left the pitch with the fans chanting, "We want better," ringing in their ears. Now, I didn't need to chant. I was mad. I needed a vent. So I was already heading to the parking lot to post the rapid recap. Randos were asking my wife, "Who's that angry person over there?" It was me. Center back Maya Yoshida insisted the team apologize to the fans. And by the way, in a game like soccer, saying that kind of thing is very appropriate. Soccer is unlike any other professional sport, particularly in the United States, in that there really is a relationship that develops between a club and its fans. You can go 0-17 in the NFL. You're not going to hear people apologizing to the fans. When was the last time the worst team in any sport apologized to its fans outside of soccer? So, once again, having seen the Galaxy live twice and having watched every match on Apple TV, it continues to blow me away how the front office, only within the last couple of weeks, rewarded manager Greg Vanney with a 3-year contract extension without asking at least one pertinent question. What is plan B? There's no Ricky Puig, there's no Dejan Joveljic, but there's also no talk whatsoever from Vanney about a contingency plan. It's just the same old deflection of blame. Half of the season is gone and there are 0 wins, bruh. It is now time for you to acknowledge that you at least deserve some of the blame. Because right now, he's still running the same show. And what opponents are doing now is that they simply key on pretty much doubling up Gabriel Peck. And once that happens, the Galaxy look absolutely feckless, confused, no idea what to do next. They cannot adjust on the fly because Vanney doesn't adjust on the fly. It blows me away. 0 wins in 16 league matches. You know, when I was a fledgling reporter, a high school baseball coach told me the words that have stuck with me for decades later. Not because they were uniquely wise. You see, if you're going to say something wise, it doesn't have to use these $5 words, right? Simple words just to get it across. The simplest advice is often the most effective. He said to me, your talent dictates what you do. And Greg Vanney has this booty backwards. He is trying to dictate to the talent what they do when the talent isn't fit for what Vanney wants. And as I previously mentioned, what is plan B? What is plan B? Vanney hasn't made a discernible adjustment all year, and we're about to hit June with the Galaxy's last MLS win coming in December. With no end in sight to this pointless and predictable misery. We mentioned the relationship between a soccer team and its fans. Do you know how easy it would have been to get the fans to stop chanting, "We want better"? For them to, much like a spouse that's not happy in the marriage, to give Vanney another chance? In this case, all Vanney had to do was win 3 matches. 9 points plus the 4 from the draw, you've got 13 points. That would put the Galaxy within a hair's breadth of a playoff berth. 3 wins in 16 matches. Because then the Galaxy could tell their fans, listen, we've been hanging on until Ricky Puig gets back. But Greg Vanney could not even eke out 3 wins. Even on accident. A rando off a street, an AYSO coach could just roll a soccer ball onto a pitch. Eventually, just by saying, you guys do what you do, you would think at one point, just from sheer happenstance, the Galaxy would have gotten at least 1 W. Saturday's match against Real Salt Lake marks the absolute halfway point of the MLS 2025 season. The Galaxy are the league's only winless team. They have a firm grasp on the wooden spoon. Can you imagine any sport where a team does not win for half a season and the manager or coach doesn't get fired? Can you? Can you? Will Kuntz is a 40-year-old man, maybe 41. He has what, about 25 years before he reaches retirement age? That's a long time. Maybe not now, but at some point in his life, Will Kuntz is going to look back and realize that extending the contract on such a bullheaded, rigid ideologue in Greg Vanney will be the biggest unforced error in Will Kuntz's professional career. And that's the memo. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about your opinions on the Rams and Chargers in OTAs. For that matter, how surprised are you that Mookie Betts is playing above average shortstop? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thanks for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortel Queso production. Take care.